I think you were starting to discuss that it's the responsibility of the North that has caused the problems.
Yes. And in relation to that, I do want to touch on the 1 degree and 1.5 degrees. And I think we should all think a lot about that, put a lot of thinking around that, because just by setting targets in terms of parts per million or degrees, without setting the commitments for developed countries, we could be having a lot of negative implications on our right to development. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but we're talking about the emissions there and the term and the fact that there's a limited atmospheric space, so that has to be allocated to developing countries. If we set all the targets, the global targets at the long term, without setting first the developed country parties targets, then maybe, you don't know, right? But I don't know if it's 80% until 2050. And then what if what happens now, what is happening now happens, and it's like the European Union says 20% and the US 17%, then will the developing country parties be responsible of reducing the 50% that is left? Will we have the atmospheric space that we need to develop in terms?
Well, it depends. I remember a term, I don't know if it was a translation or a French term, making a distinction between different types of development.
I speak French, so
yeah, well, it was called well, the translation of it was increasing, and that was exploitative development. I mean, when you're talking about development, if your principles are going to be adhered to, you're not talking about exploitative development. You don't. What you're talking about is basic, making sure that you have fundamental rights are protected through development. I mean, when you say you're going to, I mean, you're not suggesting. Let me just turn it off for a minute.
Yeah, I'm not suggesting.